Welcome to Foosball, where the only person with bigger nuts than Jerry Jones is this guy right here, Chief Greengrass. Late night recording. Dave was just in the ER, apparently because he's got too much testosterone. But here we are, late night, talking about NFL football because there's breaking news. There's crazy stuff happening.
Crazy stuff.
What's right, what's wrong, what's up, what's down in the NFL. Micah Parsons announced that he wants to leave the Dallas Cowboys and get the hell out of there. Reveals all kinds of stuff about like the difficulties and Jerry Jones, weird meetings and stuff, avoiding him, not wanting, not even no negotiations, nothing or whatever. It's crazy, guys. So this is the crazy topic. Is Micah Parsons untradeable though? Like you're going to have to trade a lot for him. It's going to be crazy. Let's go to Neckbeard first, man. What's your argument with Micah Parsons? Do you think it's just literally almost impossible to trade this guy?
It's impossible. He is, in all relative terms, the best or the second best, maybe even the third best if you don't like him, pass rusher in the league. These guys are the next most expensive players to quarterbacks. Can you imagine somebody trying to trade Josh Allen right now? It's impossible. How do you trade Micah Parsons? What's he worth? First of all, he's going to get paid a lot of money. So you got to have $40 plus $45 million. And you got to give up 2-3 first-round picks for this guy. And then Dallas, there's no way you're going to recoup what this guy is worth. There's no way. If you even get 3 first-round picks for him, you're never going to get somebody as good as Micah Parsons. Like, it's almost impossible, right? So he's untradeable. He is untradeable. He is too good to be traded. So either Dallas signs him and he signs this contract, or he plays the season and he goes out as a free agent. Guys like this do not get traded for 3 very specific reasons. 1, you have to pay them the highest contract when you trade for them, which a lot of teams can't afford, right? 2, you have to give up future assets to get a player that might become a free agent anyway. And 3, the team that's trading them, their fan base is going to lose their mind unless they absolutely get like a king's ransom, and no team will ever pay that. There is no way that 2 teams can come to an agreement on Micah Parsons that's fair in any way whatsoever. He is untradeable. He is way too good to be traded. That's my opinion.
Greengrass over there. Do you think what do you think? Can Micah Parsons be traded?
First, I don't think there's any way he'd allow him to be traded in the NFC, so that takes away 50% of your potential destinations for it. And B, like Neckbeard said, it's just the money, the aspects. You need to have a rookie contract, a quarterback on a rookie contract to afford this. You need to think that, okay, we're all in, we're pushing all of our chips in. The only team that really fits that is Washington, and there ain't no way he's going to do that within his own division. Because right now, I don't know that he's really a good fit in New England.
Maybe get McLaurin back in a trade and some draft picks.
Well, they already have a wide receiver too. The draft picks would be nice, but I'm not really sure. It sounds to me like the Commanders, their front office, their head coach, they're pretty smart. They're building this thing up. They brought in the vets. They brought in the vets to help mentor the young guys. They drafted. And they have a really good mix to push all of the chips in now to say, we need Micah Parsons. He's the difference. Philly beat their ass in the playoffs with the run game. What is Micah Parsons' weakness? He cannot stop the run. If you want to beat Micah Parsons, you run right at him.
You run right at him and you double team him. Absolutely. Packers did that in their playoff game and they dominated. Now, and that's another point too. So here's the thought about Micah Parsons, right? Like, if you're a team that wants Micah Parsons, why would you give up future assets if he has 1 year left on his deal and he hates Jerry? Anyone that read that Twitter feed from Micah Parsons can tell that he's not a huge fan of Jerry, so he's never signing this contract, or so you think, right? So he just plays it out, and then he becomes a free agent. Why would you give up 2, maybe 3 first-round picks, which is what the Cowboys should ask for him? Why would you give up 3 first-round picks to get him when you could maybe sign him as a free agent? He's not going anywhere, guys. We can talk about it all we want, but he's not going anywhere. There's no
We've seen this with free agents currently with like the Bengals and other places where it seems like everyone's just going to re-sign with their team. They're not going anywhere. It was just a play to like put a little pressure and get something, like with the contract a little bit more favorable. So we can totally see that. But on the other side, like he's young, he's only 26.
Right.
And maybe a team might throw a bunch of stuff at him just for that chance if they think they're, close on the cusp. Because like the Packers, they're they only want guys that are like 26 and under, it seems. Other teams might be doing the same thing.
Right.
It's possible.
But we have to pay Jordan Love next year, and we don't have a rookie contract. So if we're paying Micah Parsons $45 or $46 million,
well, here I'm going to show the graphic right now.
Yeah, please show the graphic. Yeah. So Micah Parsons is going to get somewhere between $43 and $45 million per year is my guess, right? So if you've already got, you got to pay Jordan Love, you've got to pay other guys on the team, and you got to give up future assets, future first-round picks to basically take away 30% of your salary cap, roughly. Like, who's going to do that? As good as Micah Parsons is, the Packers would be insane to do that. They'd be insane.
There's a chance because of how Micah talked about how he was willing to do a team-friendly deal that he might take less, like 40 or less million a
Doug,
year.
In a perfect world, I would trade Rashawn Gary and 1 first-round pick for Micah Parsons. The Cowboys would be insane to take that deal, but I would happily pay Micah Parsons $20 million more per year because look at Rashawn Gary on that graphic. He's making $24 million a year. You're going to pay Micah $44. So I'm basically paying for 2 Rashawn Garys and giving up a first-round pick, right? Is Micah that good? Yeah, probably. But if he gets hurt, then it ruins my franchise for years to come. So do you really think the Cowboys would take Rashawn Gary in a first-round pick? I don't think so. I don't think they would. But
we can switch over to this topic real quick and put it in here. What are the chances of Packers getting Micah? Who would you have? You would have to package people, young, first-round draft picks.
Dude, if we're going to be paying the guy $46 million a year, roughly, right? That's what I'm guesstimating he's going to make. You got to get some money off the books. You've got the money this year, right? We've got $40+ million in cap this year, but we don't next year. And then we're going to have to sign Jordan Love. The year after that, we're going to have to sign Jordan Love to a long-term contract. So he's going to become the highest paid player. And I don't see how they make that work financially.
They could push money around. In 2 years from now, they have a ton of cap space, like $100 million, but they're going to have to re-sign people, Jordan Love and things like that.
Yeah.
So there could be ways that they move stuff around. They have like 30 some right now, but they're using some of that for Tom Bombadil at right tackle. And
Tom Bombadil. I would definitely take Tom Bombadil.
We're definitely thinking rings now.
Lord of the Rings, Tom Bombadil, not exact Tom, Doug.
Exact Tom Bombadil.
Dude, Tom Bombadil would be an amazing offensive lineman. I mean, he is pure magic.
That's kind of who he is. He came out of nowhere. He's magical.
Well, in 2026, Green Bay right now they only have $2 million in cap space.
That's what I'm saying. The year after this,
that's why I'm saying they have to move stuff around a bit. It would be tough. But you saw what they did with Xavier McKinney. Like he's 26 or 25 at the time, really good, and they paid him his market value. You know what I mean?
They did, but that market value is like 24, not 44.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother player.
And they apparently they don't care about pass rush at all. So I mean, they might not be.
Yeah, that seems pretty apparent. Yes, I would.
They don't care about pass rush.
I would concur.
He's also not so great against the run. He's like an average run defender-ish. You know what I mean? Which you'd think he'd be way better.
Micah Parsons is a unicorn. They're beautiful. Everybody wants them. But in a fight, they're awful. Because unless they hit you with their horn, they're basically useless, right? That's Micah Parsons. Like, he is a unicorn.
Have you not watched the new Paul Rudd movie that just came out, Death of a Unicorn?
No, I have not. Tell.
Oh, yeah. Father and daughter, Jenna Ortega, accidentally hit and kill a unicorn while en route to a weekend retreat. It's epic. When I was feeling bad yesterday because my wheelbarrow was out of the shop.
Your wheelbarrow was
so I couldn't get from here to there. Yes, it's a fan.
Man.
Don't watch it with your daughters, whatever you do. Unicorns, you'll never see them the same way again. They're badass.
All right.
Paul Rudd.
So, I mean, Paul Rudd, I respect. I respect Paul Rudd. Wednesday's an amazing show, Jenna Ortega. But I think we got off a topic here,
yes,
which is basically that Micah Parsons is not a Netflix TV show. He is impossible to trade for. The Packers would be stupid to do it. They'd be stupid. Please don't trade for him, Packers.
Yeah,
I will be excited for 14 days, and then I will be disappointed for the rest of my life if you trade.
Yeah, as a Bears fan, I wouldn't want him to be there. Saw it a lot.
So
some people posted that.
Well,
for
you
the
saw
Bears
the
too.
Packers wanted to trade for Henderson from the Bengals, and they're basically the same player. You know what I'm saying?
No, Micah Parsons is way better than Trey Anderson. I'm sorry. I know Trey Anderson had a
Well,
bunch
over
of stats.
time, but last year Henderson graded about the same as
And
Parsons.
Henderson's also almost 31 years old.
30
Parsons,
years old.
and yeah,
I'm
because-
saying
because-
Micah's younger.
yeah.
But Hendrickson's
Better.
age, it sounded like the only thing that you could trade him for, given the money and the age, was going to be a second-round pick.
All right, let's ask the Bear fan.
Micah, because of his age, like Neckbeard said, that's going to be a couple of firsts.
Right.
That's
So,
gonna be
Dave,
somebody-
would you do the Khalil Mack trade all over again, knowing how it turned
No.
out? Exactly. And he was great for them for 1
Oh,
year. They gave up 2 first-round picks, and he wouldn't do the trade again. Because elite pass rushers, you have to overpay. And unless they're all pros dominating the defense every year, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Please don't trade for him, Packers. No, don't do it.
And to look at it from when you try to say, okay, in order to find a team that can absorb that hit, you need to have a quarterback on a rookie contract.
Right.
Well, if you're going to get a rookie on or quarterback on a rookie contract, and then you're going to be trading away first-round draft picks to build your foundation, it's going to be, okay, we'll have this defensive end, we'll have this quarterback, and we'll have no weapons around them to support them in 2-3 years.
Right. And I mean, the counter argument to that, Dave, is the second most important position is defensive end. It's pass rusher, right? I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second most important position. But when you have to give away years worth of value to get a position, it almost doesn't matter how good they are, because you need 22 guys to play and win games. There's no one guy other than quarterback, I would say, that can win you football games. And yeah, it's just too much capital and too much money. Because to my point before, Doug, Rashawn Gary is $24 million a year. I complain about Rashawn Gary, but do I really want to pay 2 Rashawn Garys just to get one decent player? No, I do not. I do not want to pay $45 million a year for one defensive player, because guess what? If he gets hurt, then I have nothing to show for.
Another thing about this chart that we have all these guys with high PFF grades, a lot of them are terrible at run defense relatively, and they're getting paid a lot of money. And,
to Rashawn Gary's credit, he's actually not terrible at run defense.
He's slightly better than Micah, but we think of Micah as this all-pro, the best in the league, and we think they'd be better.
Well, I mean, not a lot of receivers are good run blockers. Some are, some aren't. Like when you do one thing really well, you get paid a lot.
Also, when you're a big defensive guy like Rashawn Gary and you kind of move people around, like you might not directly impact the run play, but you kind of do, right? But when you're a small guy like Micah, who's 250, you're not pushing the O-lineman around. You're not.
Which is why Reggie was the greatest ever, because he's an awesome pass rusher and he was so big you couldn't run on him either.
Like TJ Watt grades as a 90 in PFF for everything because he can do all of it. He can push people around. He can pass rush. That's why he's so good.
No, a healthy TJ Watt and a healthy Myles Garrett, I think, are better than Micah Parsons.
Oh, yeah, they're a tier above.
Yeah, I think they are a tier above Micah Parsons, but pure pass rusher, Micah Parsons might be better than both of them, but that is his one thing that he does, right? That's his one skill.
If you can only do one thing, though, then you can, deal with that. You can double them up. You can chip them.
Right, which is also why I don't want to pay that guy $45 million a year. Like, I would pay Myles Garrett $45 million a year. Happily pay him that. Do I want to pay Myles Garrett that? No, I do not. No,
Do you know who had that template? Now that I think about it, the Indianapolis Colts. They paid Peyton Manning, they paid Dwight Freeney, and their 2 wide receivers, and that was it.
That was
it. It only got them 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
A dynamic team, but they were so top heavy that the rest of the foundation wasn't there. And so Jerry, he's unfortunately set himself up to where you're hoping you might get one out of this. I don't even know if you will.
I mean, but it did get him a Super Bowl, Dave, but
it got him 1.
They also had a potentially top 5 all-time quarterback. Like when you have a top 5 all-time quarterback, you can F up a lot of other things. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but Dak ain't Peyton.
Well, they ran into the Patriots a lot, and the Patriots had consistent good defense.
Right. But I mean, Peyton had good defenses basically 2 or 3 years, and he made 2 Super Bowls, and he had an amazing Super Bowl against some team we won't name, but fantastic Super Bowl, and one not so good Super Bowl, right? So, but then he went to Denver and went to 2 more Super Bowls. So, like, yeah, having a top 5 quarterback covers up a lot of holes. It covers up a lot of holes, so you can pay one defensive end, right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Unless you have that guy, why would you pay Micah Parsons and give up capital? Wait till he becomes a free agent. Dude, if the Packers sign him as a free agent and pay him 45, I will.
We're in the dead zone now, and our super smart Bear fan over here, who he's very smart because he doesn't have to spend time watching football games. He can spend time researching.
Yes.
Mhm.
We have our next topic. Star players need to be signed in year 3. Otherwise, you're stupid. Like, you need to sign people early.
It sounds oversimplistic, but it's true.
You can see Chief has not only big nuts, he also has a large brain. Okay,
Yes.
so Chief, can you run us through this of like what? There's a new theory that you need to sign your star players early because otherwise you're just like setting yourself up for these situations like Micah, where you have to spend a lot, or you're going to have to deal with a lot of trouble.
Yep. So basically, Micah said he is willing to sign extend his contract after year 3. We already knew he was going to be a stud. We already knew what the Dallas Cowboys had. If they would have signed him after the 2024 season, the top paid edge rusher out in the league was getting paid $35 million a year. Was getting paid 34. So to make Micah the highest paid, he would have been paid 35. And that sounds like a lot. But if you sign him for $35 million per year after that year 3, look what happens. Now TJ Watt got $41.5 million. Now they're going to have to pay Micah at least $42 million a year, $7 million more per year, because they chose to wait until this contract was over. Now, Jerry got himself in a lot of trouble in this last week because he said, hey, just because I'm paying somebody $40 million doesn't mean they're playing 17 games for me. They're going to be missing 6 games. He's talking about Dak, and that also, you got butthurt about Mike as well. And Micah didn't appreciate that. Well, what happens if you sign him after the 3 years? You have that extra $7 million, which gets you a solid backup edge rusher. That's a solid whatever position your elite player is going to be. So that way you have your stud, you have the backup in case if something goes wrong.
Sure.
And there's a team that is notorious for doing this. Jalen Hurts was drafted in 2020. He signed his 4-year deal. And he didn't do much his first year. He got out there in his second year, and they saw enough. So Micah Parsons, we saw 3 solid years, and we're like, damn, this dude is it. With Jalen Hurts, we didn't see 3 solid years of that, but they saw enough in Philly to where they said, okay, 2023, it's after year 3. We're going to extend you. We're going to give you 5 years, $255 million. It's only going to be $51 million per year. So, the quarterback, that's a different pool, but still they said, okay, 1 year before they had to sign him, we're going to give you 51. It sounds like a lot, but right now, so that was in 2023 when they signed him. Now he's the 11th highest paid quarterback. So that gave them the flexibility right now. Jordan Love, when he signed his contract a year later, was for $55 million. So right there, $4 million delta. Dak Prescott got his money last year because he was the last person signed on the calendar year, going right up to camp, right? $60 million. So by signing Jalen in the spring, a year and a half earlier, saved him $9 million a year.
So, Dave, let me give you an example. Jaden Daniels seems like an obvious player to sign right away, right? So let's say the Washington says, hey, Jaden Daniels, you're the highest paid quarterback now after 3 seasons. Boom, here's your contract for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. Do you do the same thing with a guy like Bo Nix? Do you do the same thing with a guy like Caleb Williams? Do you want the Bears to sign Caleb Williams next year if he's still pretty good? Like, let's say Caleb Williams is 15th in passer rating, touchdowns, and yards, right? Middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. Do you want the Bears to sign Caleb Williams to the highest quarterback salary after year 3?
Well, that's the nice thing with Jalen Hurts. They didn't give him the highest paid money.
Okay.
They made him 2 or 3.
But he wasn't – hold on, but Caleb's a number 1 overall pick.
But Jalen had also taken him to a Super Bowl.
True. But Caleb's a number 1 overall pick. Do you think he's not going to want top dollar, even if he's
still being 2 or 3 is still pretty high?
Oh, yeah. 2 or 3 is still going to be high. So realistically, if if we see the steps, he doesn't have to prove himself out to be a top 5 quarterback. Jordan Love had one good year, and they gave him top 5 money.
Yep.
Look at Lawrence and Jackson.
I was just going to go there.
Yeah,
He never showed it, but they gave him the money. That one would be an overpay.
So it seems obvious that Stroud gets that contract after this year if Texans are smart.
Well,
right?
Stroud and Lawrence both took their teams to the playoffs, though.
Right. Well, but Stroud had one good year. He had an off year last year. He might even have an off year this year. But even if I'm the Texans and I look at CJ Stroud and I've seen those highs, I'm like, hey, this guy's going to be my quarterback. So should I wait a year to pay him so I pay him top next year, or do I pay him top this year? I think Dave's point is the sooner you pay them top dollar and lock them in for 3 or 4 or maybe 5 years, you're saving yourself $5, $6, $7, maybe $10 million, which is another player, which can help you in the long run, right?
Because what came out today, the NFL, they're selling off a $2 billion contract with ESPN, right? Money's always coming in. The league is always generating more profit. Ticket prices. There's a guy who I heard, salary is going to go up.
Yeah.
There's not, outside of COVID where nobody's allowed to go to the stadiums, there's not going to be anything stopping that. So paying them now, you're still probably going to save. Yeah, I don't want to pay Caleb $65 million a year in 2 years. You want to know something? But in 5 years, I would love to pay him $65 million. So why not just get that out of the way? You have that solidified, locked in,
right?
And then your organization can move forward.
So I agree with Dave on this one. Here's my thing as a Packer fan, seeing 2 years of Jordan Love because he's got another year on his contract. If they sign him to a 5-year contract right now, say Jordan Love was the second highest paid quarterback, right, for the next 5 years, even though he hasn't played at the second highest quarterback level, I'm 100% fine with it. I'm 100% fine with that because 3 years from now, even if Jordan Love's only, say, a top 10 quarterback, 3 years from now, he's only going to be making top 10 money because it's that quick how much the salary cap gets escalated. So I'm happy to pay him early versus late if you know they're going to be your guy. So that's why I asked you about Caleb, Dave, because I feel like you're kind of like me. You're not 100% sure how good he's going to be. Mm-hmm. So let's say he has a really good year this year, and then he has a mediocre year next year. You still want to pay him to be the highest paid quarterback after 3 seasons? Do you think it's worth it?
I do believe that we're going in a direction to where when we extended our GM, we have our coach locked up for the next 5 years. So everyone's going to be hand in hand. Yeah. So let's just all go in that together. We're just going to have that rock solid. I believe in the direction. I think that yes, we will.
I think continuity is big. Is that what you're saying? The continuity of same head coach, same quarterback, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You're going to have the same coaches, and that was one of the that's one of the great things with Philadelphia. Even though they change the coordinators every year, and obviously they stubbed their toe real hard when they lost their offensive and defensive coordinators after going to the Super Bowl. Still, they had the coach there. They said, "We're going to stick with you." They went like 8-0 or something, and then they lost the last 6 games of the season.
6 of the last 7 or something.
Yeah, 6 of the last 7. They didn't freak out. The GM and the owner, they said, "Okay, we believe in you. We're going to keep that continuity." What did that get them? One of the funnest Super Bowls we'd seen in a long time.
Well, and the fact that Saquon came on the market, I mean, that helped a little bit. Right?
Oh, yeah. But still, they had that line because what did they do? They not only did they sign Jalen Hurts a year early, they drafted Jordan Mailata in 2018, and then they extended him in 2021.
Right.
So he was a low draft pick.
Yeah, you're right. No, they did extend him early. I actually really like that contract. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they extended him in 2021 to 4 years.
Yep.
$64 million, and then 3 years later, when he still had years left, they extended him for another 3 years for $66 million.
Yeah.
So they're staying 1 or 2 years ahead. They're keeping the talent. That's allowing them to have more money so they can get the depth. They can draft these guys. And if we sign Caleb, we extend him to another 4 or 5 years, and we find out he's not the guy. Okay, at least we gave him a shot for 8 years. We probably had a couple good years. Then you got to cut the bait. But that's where you do it. You do it off of the rookie contract to give them the extension. If they don't prove it after that next contract, that's when you got to start to just, drop the mic and walk away.
Yeah, it seems like they're playing 3D chess though, because they're getting a lot of this right, which other teams have tried and failed though. So
Oh, yeah.
I think that's why some people are tentative. But
there's one other example I found that I told Dougie. Denver Broncos drafted Patrick Surtain in 2021, 4-year deal. They extended him in 2024 for 4 years, $96 million. Highest paid contract, right? $24 million per year.
Yep.
But they signed him a year early. So when the other guys that he came out in the draft with, Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley, they just got signed in 2025. After their 4-year contracts were up, they're each getting paid $30 million a year. Sauce 4 years, 120. Derek 3 years, $90 million. And the NFL has it in, so no one's going to get a fully guaranteed contract. So Derek Stingley only got 89 of the $90 million guaranteed. What the crap is going on, NFL?
That doesn't even make sense.
That's another thing.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole. But yeah, so Surtain, the Broncos, they built their defense. They signed him a year early, and by doing so, they're saving $6 million a year.
And that's another solid player, like you said. That's why I'm for signing guys early. You're going to miss on some, but if they're your guy, even if they're injured a year or two, if they can play, it ends up being worth it in the long run. It really does, because everyone's going to get injured, and that's just something you can't control. But if you can get a guy that's maybe top 10 in his position or top 5 in his position, and 2 years from now you're paying him top 10 money instead of top 2 or 3 money, you're doing yourself a favor. So I agree 100%. I think that's a good topic. All right, Hype, what do you got for the next one?
Let's go, baby. Do the Broncos have to get McLaurin to contend for a Super Bowl or a deep run in the playoffs? I will tell you my opinion first on this.
You know what, Hype? You start. You go.
I live in Denver area, Colorado, and I listen to Denver sports radio almost every day, right? The thing they keep talking about, the offensive line is awesome. They've got some pretty decent running backs coming in. They really believe in their quarterback. He could be a great system quarterback for their coach. He might be perfect for them, not quite Drew Brees, but similar-ish. They've got a great defense. What they don't have is great wide receivers. They have one guy that's Sutton's okay as a low tier number one. All the rest, they're just trying to figure it out. They just a big question mark. Now, Sean Payton might be able to figure that out and just create a great system to get people open and whatever. And maybe Bo Nix is smart enough to run that possibly. But if they really want to be a contender and really win their division, they need somebody at quarterback that's dynamic, that's a playmaker. Okay, do you guys agree with me? Let's go to Neckbeard first. Do the Broncos have to get McLaurin to be a real contender?
100%. They should absolutely trade for Terry McLaurin right now for 3 reasons. 3 very simple reasons. Number one, they haven't had a good number one wide receiver in probably 15, 20 years since Peyton Manning was there. It seems like 15, 20 years. Number 2, they can afford to pay him because Bo Nix is on his rookie contract, right? And they can find a way to pay him. They just paid, Courtland Sutton, and I feel like they overpaid him a little bit, but I'm okay with that because I think
not too bad.
It's not too bad. I think Courtland Sutton is a very good number 2 and a very bad number 1. And as his fantasy owner for many years, I can tell you from experience that he is a very bad number 1, but he's a really good number 2. And this is the third reason. Bo Nix has probably more plays under center than anyone at his age that I can remember. He has so many snaps in college and in the NFL already that you kind of know what he is, except for one thing. What is he in the NFL when he needs to be clutch? What is Bo Nix in the playoffs when you're down by 3 and there's 2 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
Get this team to the playoffs, get Terry McLaurin, get them in there and see what Bo Nix is. See if Bo Nix has reached his ceiling, or see if Bo Nix is a guy that maybe doesn't have the athletic talent, but he has the I'm going to win the football game talent, right? Which Tom Brady had, right? And what is Bo Nix ultimately? The only way you're going to find that out is if you get him a weapon and that offense is good enough to compete in the playoffs, because the defense absolutely is good enough to compete in the playoffs. The offense is not.
But the thing is, the defense is great, but it's not always going to save you. What if all of a sudden the Chiefs are going off on you and scoring? Like, are you
sometimes you got to score 30 to win in the playoffs? Unless you're Tom Brady, but sometimes you do have to score 30 to win in the playoffs. Can Bo Nix do that? Give him a guy where he can do that, and find out if you should give him that 30-year contract that Dave loves. Right? Find out if you should give him that contract, because if he can't get it done, and
it's probably inevitable. He's probably already like so much better than what the other quarterbacks they have. But
I mean, considering Denver's history, they should just pay him right now.
They should just pay him right now. That's kind of they're ready to put him in the Hall of Fame at this point.
Yeah, they're literally in the Broncos Hall of Fame after 1 year. He is. Yeah,
they've got a big question mark at running backs. They've got a bunch of guys that are like have potential to be good, but they like and can Sean Payton have a good running game? He has done it with the Saints in the past, where they had like almost 2,000 yards rushing between the running backs. But can they stay healthy?
Right.
Can they really rely on J.K. Dobbins to play more than 12 games a year? I don't know. And play into the playoffs? I don't know. So what happens when your running backs go down and Sutton's the only real dude you have on offense as a weapon? Like, you're going to need a guy like McLaurin, I think.
Honestly, Sean Payton offenses are not running back centric. They're quarterback centric. They are quarterback centric, and you find a guy to fill that running back role. And they found multiple guys that worked in St. Louis or in New Orleans and so forth. So even if the Broncos don't have a great running back, every single one of those New Orleans teams that were good in the playoffs with Drew Brees had a great wide receiver or a very good wide receiver, right? So
tight end too often.
Yes, exactly. The receiver and the quarterback are more important than that offense.
Tight end who pretty decent route runner.
If I'm Denver, I call Washington right now and I say I'll give you a first and a bag of popcorn or whatever. Give me Terry McLaurin. Like, what do you want? Because I need that guy, especially if I'm competing with the Chiefs and the Jim Harbaugh Chargers right now.
Just imagine if you had McLaurin making big time catches for you in the end zone against the Chiefs and you're just smoking them. Like, that would be amazing.
Dude, I've always felt McLaurin is a top 5, 6, 7 wide receiver in the NFL or close to it. He just never had a good quarterback. And look what he did last year when he had a rookie who could throw, right? He was unbelievable. And he had just a rookie that could throw. He's never had a really talented quarterback.
I feel like Bo Nix is Jaden Daniels Jr. Like, he's not was as good as him last year. He can still run around a bit and make plays. You know what I mean? Not quite that level, but he's decent.
No, I think Bo Nix is a solid scrambler.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix is a better version of Drew Brees so far. Because Drew Brees had a very long.
Nix can make plays on the run with his legs a little bit. Yeah. What do you think, Dave? Do you think this is a necessity if they're going to take a serious run in the playoffs? Chief.
Dave, what do you think?
I don't think this is an easy one. I think obviously he'd help them. I'm just looking at their contracts. Like, Mike McGlinchey has a $23 million cap hit. Maybe can get him to move some of it or, push it back, give him some of the dead money after it's
They also might need to re-sign their pass rusher.
So Terry is 30 years old, guys. So he's got two-ish years, maybe 3, maybe 4 if he's made out of freaking titanium to be a really good wide receiver. Do you give up a first-round pick and pay a guy $30 million?
I might do it if I need my quarterback to grow.
Thank you. If I'm the Broncos and I haven't paid my quarterback, I do it. There's very, very few situations.
Give him a safety valve. So anytime you need a first down, you go to this guy.
Because guess what? If Terry's terrible in 2 or 3 years, I cut him and then I just pay my quarterback.
Just done.
Yeah, and then I pay my quarterback.
And even if you say you draft a wide receiver next year and you win like 10 games, 11 games, you're drafting the bottom of the first round. Maybe that receiver is decent, a wide receiver too, but you don't know. Like, how are you going to build your receiver for?
As much as I hate to admit it, and I would regret it, like, can somebody just take the Chiefs out? Can somebody just do it?
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to
do it. And when they do it, I'll hate them too, but just do it.
In my AFC West prediction, the Broncos are going to do it already.
Chiefs I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
All right, call up the GM, the Walmart. Call up the Walmart family and be like, "Hey, the Walmart family has plenty of money, bro. They can afford to."
So, guys, DK went for a second-round pick. Do you think Terry is worth a first at that age? No. Okay, I agree. A second-round pick is worth it, right?
Maybe a second and a third.
I mean, if I'm the Broncos, a second-round pick for Terry McLaurin, yes, even though I have to pay him, but you structure it to where when Bo Nix gets up for his payment, Terry, you can cut him, and there's not a ton of dead cap space. Pay him now, right? You could make it work. Do it. Go do it. Absolutely.
When he was with the Saints, did they have a record? Did they bring in veteran receivers much? I don't remember them doing it very often. It was often
Not really. No, they had they drafted
a little bit, but no,
they
big
drafted pretty well on wide receiver down in New Orleans. They drafted pretty well.
Maybe they might think that they can replicate that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but if I was a Broncos fan, I would be like calling in the radio shows, doing like, get McLaurin in here,
dude. For a second round pick,
did with
have you listened to Sean Payton? Every one of their running backs looks amazing. You have nothing to worry.
Yeah, because that guy isn't full of S at all.
Not at all. When he says that the wide receiver that they drafted, oh no, he reminds me a lot.
He's good at instilling confidence as knowing a team, making them feel like they just got to be.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
I trust Sean Payton a little bit more than I trust Urban Meyer. That's where I am with that guy. Yeah, I don't believe anything.
We think they have to get McLaurin, but it's probably not going to happen. Okay, let's go to like really fun news that popped up that I was kind of shocked that this was not talked about. The Washington Redskins got the go-ahead to go back to the RFK site in D.C. because they're outside of D.C. right now and rebuild their stadium and build a whole structure. Of course, now this implies that, the politicians are all for this because they're like, oh, you're going to build a huge structure, make tons of money, and you can pay us off. Cool beans, bro. Whatever you need, legislation, here you go, buddy. You're going to build a whole, like a mini mall, hotels, whatever. But will this help the Redskins also return back to the Redskin name? Let's go to Chief Greengrass. What are your thoughts on Washington and the Redskin name?
For me, my dad's oldest brother, so Native American, full-blooded, Vietnam veteran, served in the Army. His favorite NFL team was the Washington Redskins because, hey, they look like me from the time that he was a kid. And he was always proud to wear his Skins hat and shirt and everything else. It was just a thing of pride. It's just like, hey, this is something everybody wants to grow up. They want to be a Redskins. The logo was awesome. It was, it was distinguished and everything else. It looked badass. Art Monk and the teams back in the 80s, it was amazing to watch. Riggins and whatnot. The skins were fantastic. And then, unfortunately, people saw, oh, no, they're making fun of you and whatnot. And when they ask a lot of the natives, a lot of us are like, no, it's awesome. We love it. We can buy gear that has us. It looks like our relatives on it. NFL franchise. So we thought it was really cool. And, you got a small percentage out there that didn't like it. But it was a lot of the elders, a lot of the veterans are saying, no, we like this. They're not, this isn't like Chief Wahoo in Cleveland where it's a caricature. This looks distinguished. This is amazing. In order to become a Washington Redskin, you have to be in the top 0.1% of all the athletes. You have to bust your ass. You have to work as hard as you can to become a Redskin. It's awesome to be able to say that. It's awesome to have that mindset. That being said, unfortunately, when they mentioned about the RFK site, somebody brought it in as politics just to swing everything the other way. So now he's holding us up saying, hey, I want to honor you. And it's just now he's using it in the wrong way. So unfortunately, right now, for the next 4 years, I don't want it to be because right now it's just a prop. It's a gimmick. So we're not looking to see what's in this other hand. It's been politicized like we're just too dumb to know any better. Like, we don't know what else is going on, what the true intent is. So let's just wait another 5-10 years. We'll review it then. I love the Redskin name. I just don't like what they're the way they're trying to push it right now. I don't like it.
So, Dave, as a white man who has no experience as a native, I can tell you right now, they will never allow it to be Redskins again. It's a slur. As much as it's cool, and I agree with you, every Native American I've ever met, yourself included, loved the Redskins.
Hells
yeah, thought it was cool, right? And I relate it to the Florida Seminoles and the Chicago Blackhawks. Both of those franchises have ties to the actual tribes, right? Now the Blackhawks is the name of a man who was in the Fox and Sauk tribe, and the Seminoles is an actual tribe. But they've kept their heritage, they've kept their Native American look and their logo because it was never like Chief Wahoo. Just like you said, It was never making fun of natives. It was look at how badass natives are. In the sense that the Seminoles are huge in that part of Florida, where Florida State is, and Blackhawk is one of most badass Native Americans that's ever existed. Wrote the
Oh,
first autobiography. Awesome dude, and should be celebrated, right? So I want Washington to celebrate natives, but like they can't do it with a slur. It can't be Redskins. It's got to be something else. It's got like, what if it was a local tribe, or like even, dude, the Washington Natives? That'd be kind of cool. And then then they'd have a dope ass like image of a dude with feathers, or like, you know, a dream catcher or something native. Like, make it native. I want it to be native, but it can't be a slur, man. It can't be Redskins.
Also, being in DC, it's always going to be politicized too. There's going to be too much.
It's like,
I think natives is not offensive.
No,
natives is just saying what it is. I think that's a fantastic idea. The Washington Natives. Why not?
Washington Natives, and fucking put a big N with some feathers or whatever, or put the face of a Native American if it's done.
Go back to the old logo.
Yeah,
that logo was awesome.
Yeah, dude, the old logo was sick. It was totally sick. Yeah. So like the Utah Utes, right? So you guys know how they have the logo and then they have the feathers. Like they have the U and then they have like the feathers off of it. Like it could be something like that. It could be the old logo. I mean, you can do native imagery without being disrespectful. It can be done. It has been done. And like, I think the Florida Seminoles is a great example. I think their logo is dope. I think it's super cool, right? And the Seminole tribe loves it. They're all about it. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope they go native, but it will never be the Redskins ever again. Never.
Probably not.
Never.
This also brings up an interesting point in lacrosse where they're talking about how they wanted to have like Canadian tribal lacrosse teams in the Olympics.
No, national, so native tribe lacrosse teams, because they're their own nations. Dave, you want to fill us in on what's going on with that?
Well, that I haven't paid attention to.
Okay. Well, so there's national teams, like tribes are nations. Everyone who's not native, who doesn't know Dave, who's watching, tribes are their own nations. And so there's tribal lacrosse teams that have competed internationally that are really good. Because FYI, folks, lacrosse is a Native American sport that they taught us, right? That everybody else is playing. And there's Native American nations that have their own teams that are playing against Canada, that are playing against France, that are playing against USA and New Zealand or whatever. And they're pretty damn good. And the United States, or I'm sorry, the Olympic Committee, not just the United States, but the Olympic Committee says that they cannot compete in the Olympics because they're not a nation.
They're not a recognized nation, right?
Yes, even though they are a recognized nation by these United States. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, they're in Canada, so by Canada they are recognized, I believe.
Yeah. Well, no, we also recognize nations.
Do we also?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know all those specifics about it. Maybe Dave knows more about that. But I just think it's an interesting idea to preserving culture, native, whatever it is, all those things. I think everybody can get on board to think that's like a really great thing to do.
I vote we have a national native team. Like, so we have the U.S. lacrosse team, and then we have the United States native team.
That would be
and
awesome.
It's all natives, and they're not representing the United States. They're just representing natives. I'm down for that. Just saying.
I can see that maybe happening at some point.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, everything comes down to money, the Olympics and everything. So you'd have if someone paid off the Olympic Committee, done. Over, it'd be done.
I mean, yeah, much like FIFA. Yeah, they're all.
That's what I'm saying. How FIFA, the Olympic Committee, they're all corrupt as hell. It's all about money. It's all about them. Whatever. Where they choose locations. Yeah. There's been many documentaries about all this stuff. It's all about money. It's all a front for whatever. It's all corrupt as hell. But people watching this stuff, getting to learn more about like the cultures,
Native American
comes from.
Native American tribes are in such a unique situation to where they are their own sovereignty, but they're not. Do you know what I mean? They have their own sovereign land. They own their land. It's the native land, but it's still the United States, or it's still Canada. It's not actually a nation, even though it's a nation, right?
Yeah. It's like a land nation on top of another nation. That's
No, they're it's a governing. Yeah, they're sovereign nation.
We have our own government. We have our own legislatures. Right. We vote for our own officials.
Yeah, they're sovereign nations, but they're not in the United Nations. They're not recognized by anyone else except for the nations that they're within, like Canada, US, right? So it's a very unique situation, but I'm 100% for actual sovereign nations for Native Americans. 100%.
And this is another idea that, maybe the Olympics don't include them, but but maybe this will help, just kind of like how the WNBA has risen up with popularity Caitlin Clark. Maybe things like this of like, hey, Native American lacrosse championships, that could become a thing now. You have the internet where like all you need is people to go like, hey, this looks cool. I'm interested in it. It looks exciting. Next thing you know,
dude, all it takes, Doug, is
ESPN2 needs to have that instead of that stupid bounce ball tournament where people throw.
Dude, all it takes is like, let's say, like
you throw it at a trampoline and catch it.
The lacrosse team for like the Seminole Nation beats the crap out of Hungary, and they're like, oh wait, maybe we should pay attention, right? And they beat a whole nation, right? So I don't know.
And also, you see what happens with FIFA. They have the World Cup, they have the Club Cup. There could be like a lacrosse thing or whatever that's like a championship that's not the Olympics, but still like important.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah. But that's the thing. It comes down to money.
Well, FIFA and World Cup aren't important. It's just fun and getting together with a bunch of natives and having a powwow at the end. The music and the dancing is the fun part. So.
That's true. It's just interesting to look at it from these perspectives of culture and what we like to learn from and be a part of.
The whole reason this became a story, though, Dave, is because lacrosse is a Native American sport created by Native Americans, and they're not allowed to represent.
What's the city that's right across the river?
La Crosse.
The county that La Crosse.
Yeah,
I'm from La Crosse.
Dave, you're from La Crosse. It just seems
we got a big old statue.
Ludicrous that the Native American nations could not represent their nation in lacrosse when they invented the damn sport. It just seems crazy.
Or the reason people are upset too is because.
Can you imagine if Canadians weren't allowed to play hockey? They're like, no.
Yeah, well, part of this, Derek. The reason
also, a Native American sport. That was a joke on top of a joke.
Yes. Part of the reason people are angry about this too is because when the settlers started like learning lacrosse and incorporating it, they didn't allow Native Americans on their teams either, even though
they got kicked off. So I watched a documentary on this because I was curious. By the way, all professional lacrosse teams were like 70-80% Native American, and then the Canadians said, whoa, there's way not enough white guys here, boys, so let's kick out the natives and make it all to white boys. So they made it illegal to have Native Americans on lacrosse teams after a while, because they dominated the sport because they invented it. You know what I mean? So that's all right, next topic. Let's move on.
One thing you want to look up is the Carlisle Indian School football team. It's a fun little history. They played football from 1893 to 1917, achieving a winning record and making a significant impact on the sport's development. It was known for its players like Jim Thorpe. They faced off against top college programs and even the U.S. Army team at West Point. And they kind of beat a NFL team. And so I think it was one of the Ivy League schools, and they got really pissed off. So they're getting pissed off because, we got our big college boys right here. They're big and strong, and you see these native kids, and they're not fed nearly as well, and they're kind of scrawny and whatnot, and the natives were kicking their ass.
Yeah.
So
Jim Thorpe.
So the Carlisle Indian School, the football team, it's a fun bit of history if you want to look. So
nice.
This is a good tidbit, Dave. We're going to transfer from that to the most important topic, Green Bay Family Night. Why is Bears Family Night empty?
Because we eat our young.
Is there a Bears Family Night?
Yeah, there is one. Well, it's not at night; it's like during the day. But there's like a day just like that, and the people took pictures.
All right,
there's like 10 people there in the stand, so it became a meme.
All right,
it's called Family Fest.
Family Fest, yeah. And like nobody goes.
Let's talk about Chicago sports, guys. Okay, as a Wisconsin native who loves Wisconsin teams but's a Cubs fan.
You're talking about me?
No, not you. Not you.
You said Wisconsin native.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Nice play on words after we were talking about lacrosse. Well done, Dave. Well done. First of all, Chicago has great fans, but the Bears fans are sick of the Bears, and Family Night is overrated in Chicago. That's all I'm going to say.
It's during the day. It's not quite a spectacle as the Green Bay Packers family night that sells out the whole stadium, broadcasted all over the world now.
We have nothing better to do in
and it's
Wisconsin.
just and nothing better to do, and it's just a practice. It really means nothing, but they literally sell tickets for like $5 and sell out the whole freaking stadium.
Well, yeah,
impressive.
because we've got nothing better to do in northern Wisconsin. Like, can we be honest? We know
it's
what we
also
are.
people coming from Milwaukee and other places because that's like what,
Sure.
68,000 people.
But dude, come on, there's a lot more to do in Chicago.
There's a state fair going on in Milwaukee.
There is. But think about this. You're talking about selling out a whole stadium versus like literally the Bears have, it looks like there's 15 people there. Like that's a big gap, okay?
Well, I mean, the Bears also haven't won a Super Bowl since we were 4 years old, 5, 6 years old.
Yeah,
so,
if they won a Super Bowl, that family day would be packed.
Yeah, if Jim McMahon showed up, maybe there would be more people.
Maybe it probably is just Jim McMahon's family coming back to hang out.
It's Ditka's mustache hairs.
Well, just remember, I didn't even know the story about Jim McMahon after the Packers won the Super Bowl with him, and because of him.
He wore a Bears jersey too.
He wore the Bears jersey to the White House.
Yes.
Always a Bear.
Which also means he should give up that Super Bowl ring to charity because what a dick. What a dick. Don't blame him, but what a dick.
Okay, we also have a training camp report that Golden is just destroying everybody now. Like
we do. We have that training camp report, and I hope it's true. We also have that training camp report that Wicks is destroying everybody, which we
that was a couple days ago.
We had that last year. They told us that same thing.
Listen to me. Every day you progress towards a season, it's slightly more important. Okay.
I also have reports that Edgerrin Cooper is a Pokemon made out of metal and gold that destroys.
Look, they are in pads now. Okay, full pads are actually practicing full real football. That Wick stuff, he is also doing good.
Do you know how I rate guys doing great in training camp? Pretty much the way that I rate an earthquake. If it's a 7 or 8, I might pay attention. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Well, it is. He's literally scoring touchdowns all the time. He's too fast. They can't cover him.
Dude, it's training camp. We'll see it when it matters, right? I love Edgerrin Cooper. I think Edgerrin Cooper is going to be legit.
It's training camp. We got nothing else to work with here, okay?
Okay, well, what I'm saying is my favorite part of training camp is Hobbs trying to hurt his own teammates. Like, respect. Like, as much as I hate it, respect.
Well, the talking points went from, okay, now we'll just go over the place, I guess. But, like, the talking points went from, oh, my God, all these penalties in practice, everyone's so mad, to now being the Packers are tough and this is good, that they're, like, not being little wimps out there and they're getting toughened up.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Right. But the thing is that, like, the things you can take away from training camp once the pads are on and everything is wide receivers and cornerbacks because, like, you can see how well they can get open. You can see how fast they are actually now in pads against NFL players, right?
Sure.
We only saw Golden against college players before and all that stuff. Can he still do it? Is he actually that fast?
Does the speed translate? Yes, I agree with you.
To be fair, he's only playing against Green Bay cornerbacks.
That's also
really
ooh, ouch. Factual, but ouch.
I sent you guys a video today that shows footage of press coverage, and Bo Melton looks like he has rocks in his feet. Like he looks like awkward running backwards. Now, I'm not saying he can't play cornerback. I'm just saying press coverage. When you need to have really quick feet, he does not have quick feet.
You think Bo Melton played a different position or something?
He's not used to backpedaling right away.
Yeah, weird. He's used to running forward instead of backwards.
Soft coverage.
Why is that?
He might be all right, man.
Address the need to fill that position. Oh no, he didn't. All right, here. Look, training camp's fun for two things. Number one, coaches yelling at people, and 2 injuries. Right? Like people that dominate in training camp are.
That's true. Also, Lamar Jackson is now the best passer that's ever lived because it's training camp.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Did you hear that the best training camp player of all time was a Packers left tackle they took out of Michigan State? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Tony Mandrich was basically lifting cars with one arm in training camp. No, listen. Matt LaFleur is yelling at people. The defense is hurting people. I'm all about it. Like, go out and play football. I'm totally about it. The Bears offensive coordinator's yelling at people. Ben Johnson's taking Caleb Williams aside and hitting him with a stick because he sucks so bad. That's a good story. But otherwise, training camp's useless. Dominating your teammates means nothing. You have to dominate the opposition.
It's true. In years past, we've heard teams call the Packers pretend tough. when they
Yes.
would do like preseason scrimmages.
Yep.
I could get
Yep.
that because it's like the Packers are up and down. 1 second they're
Bro,
kind of good, next second they're
We
soft.
have been soft since 2006.
But
Let's admit it. We won a
the
Super
difference
Bowl,
this
but
year is like all the reporters are saying like they've never seen this level of intensity, and it just feels good. So that doesn't mean it's true,
true.
but it's a good sign.
Hey, I'll take it. We need a little bit more toughness.
It's better than bad.
Packers are finesse, and we've won a lot of football games.
Also, if we want to
with
catch
finesse.
up, all the reports out of Bears training camp is that like they went from everyone's terrible to everyone on the Bears is going to be on the All-Pro team.
Well, they are. They're all Hall of Famers. They're all future Hall of Famers, right, Dave?
Oh yeah, Kittle made a great pass that Rome caught down the sidelines. Except when you actually get to see the video of it, it was a murder ball because the safety would have destroyed.
Would
Rome.
have massacred him. I saw that, and I was like, dude, every safety that's worth his salt in the NFL would massacre him.
Yeah. So when I saw the Reddit, oh no, he made a great pass. I'm like, nah, you're killing your guy, dude.
No, any
That's a Chris
safety
Olave
worth his
ball right
salt
there.
would have either picked it off or put a Dunze in the hospital at that point. Yeah, it was an awful pass. But
this morning, Coach JB had one of the Bears offensive linemen from the 85 Bears. I can't remember his name, but he's one of the O linemen. And a nice guy and everything, but he goes to training camp every day to watch the practices. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That was a really interesting little video and stuff. But like, he's a Bear, so he talks about everyone like they're like the next coming of whatever, right? Excited about them and stuff. It's hard to really know rationally how good things are, but if things are looking good, it's a good sign, of course. But you just don't really know until they actually play a game, even preseason games. We just saw Trey Lance tear up the Lions for like 45 points.
I would literally say week 4 in the NFL is when things start to make sense. Because the first 3 weeks, you're getting through injuries in preseason, you're getting through new coordinators, you're getting through new offenses, you're getting through, teams that you normally don't play because there's not a ton of division games in the first 3 weeks. I would say week 4 is like when you start to hit your stride or start to fall, right? So, like, that's why I don't pay a ton of attention to training camp. I know it's good for clicks. I know it's good for fun. But, like, hearing that Dontavian Wicks looks awesome in training camp means about as much to me as, like, I bought real estate on Mars. I'm never going to make it. Like, show me the real stuff. You know what I mean? Put me in a space shuttle and get me to Mars before I care. I do not care that Dontavian Wicks is good in practice. I do not care.
Oh, then you're going to love this. You're going to
show me in the game.
Love this. LVN is looking pretty good in practice.
Damn it. Same shit. Can you stop? Can you stop? Okay.
Look,
listen. I did a 8-yard field goal yesterday.
Taking this from here all the way
Nobody cares.
McManus has only missed one kick in all of training camp.
I mean, we already know McManus is a real NFL player. That doesn't even matter. We don't know that LVN is a real NFL player yet. We don't know that Wicks is a real NFL player yet.
True, but
they're good in practice.
This goes in the category of like, hey, glad to hear it, right? Because at least they're not being bad, like looking back. Glad to hear it, but that doesn't really mean anything.
Do you know who I like more? Guys like Deion Sanders, who barely practiced at all and were dicks, and then showed up on game day and were Hall of Famers. Yeah, I like those guys better. I don't like guys that kill in practice and don't show up on game day. Yeah. Show up on game day.
The lights turn
please.
On.
Show up on game day, please. Right?
They think everybody is Devontae Adams. Oh, he had a bad year, but this year he's going to break out and be the best ever.
Dude, I don't care about practice heroes. I don't care. Like, that's why training camp means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. Even the bad stuff means nothing to me. Show me in the games that matter.
Do you want to? So right now they have Keyshawn Nixon and Hobbs as the starting outside cornerbacks, but they just kind of rotate them around or whatever.
Keyshawn Nixon.
I'm just telling you, it's not Bo Melton yet. He's not worked his way into the starting.
Okay, we don't even need to talk about Bo Melton starting on defense. If Bo Melton starts on defense, we're dead. We're dead. We finished 6-11 if Bo Melton starts on defense. We finished 6. The Bears are better than us.
Did Caleb get 3 touchdowns in any of those games, though, with Bo Melton?
At least. At least.
Who was the guy in Patriots that used to play defense randomly once in a while and switch over? I can't remember. But
no, I love Bo Melton, by the way. I love his attitude. I love his work ethic. I love that he's still on the team. I really like Bo Melton. The fact that we are allowing him to try out as a cornerback tells you that it's our fault. It's our fault.
What if we traded for McLaurin and put him at cornerback?
That was a great take.
You think that's
That was a great take. Terry, come over here. Here's $28 million.
Terry, could you play both
Could you
offense
play
and
corner
defense?
now? That's where we're at.
I think McLaurin could do it. He could be the next two-way player.
Probably. He
Who
probably
says he
doesn't want
can't? I mean, he's, Travis Hunter can do it. McLaurin can do it. But it's interesting to see what happens in camp and like just take account of it and it might turn into something, might not. But there are signs that there could be good things happening for both the Packers and the Bears this year. Maybe
I think the NFC North is the best division in football. I think it's actually better than the AFC West. I do. I think it's better than the AFC West. I think the Chiefs are going to take a step back. I think the Chargers are overrated. I think the Raiders are overrated. And I think the Broncos are a little bit overrated.
I kind of think the Raiders are going to trade for Micah Parsons.
A little bit overrated. I think the Lions are almost underrated. I think the Vikings are going to take a step back, but they're still going to be good. I think the Packers are very underrated, and I think the Bears are massively overrated, but everyone thinks they're going to be 78-0. So if they actually win 10 games, it's a good season. So I think the NFC North is going to have. I think the NFC North is going to have 3 playoff teams again. I think it's happening again. I do. I think it's happening again. So, but I think the Bears replace the Vikings. Just saying.
I think it's going to be a really close race because the Lions and the Vikings will be a little bit worse, maybe.
Yeah.
Packers and Bears will be a little bit better.
Dude, I already like that Ben Johnson is being a total a-hole. He has to be. He has to be. Hey, when's the last time the Bears were good? Was their coach a nice guy? Remember?
He was so good, he was a lovey.
No. Not Lovey. When's the last time the Bears were actually good, Dave?
Lovey.
No.
He took us to the NFC Championship game.
What was the mustachioed menace?
Dave Winstead.
Ditka was the biggest piece of crap that's ever existed. He won you a Super Bowl. That's what you need.
No, Buddy Ryan won us the Super Bowl.
Fair. Also a dickhead. But can I just say that your coach should be an a-hole?
But I just like to point out, yes, our offensive head coach, and we have a defensive coordinator who's also going to get carried on the shoulders of the defense.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. 40 years later, it's going to be freaking magical. 41 years later, not this year, but next year.
Yeah. I think Dave is level-headed about this because, you think about it, when I was watching the video of the Bears ex-player, he was like, look, man, he's like, when I came to the Bears and we won the Super Bowls and stuff, I could ask anybody on the team what to do and they could tell me, but the Bears this year have to learn a whole new offense. It's complicated. It's going to take time. The guys, you can't ask the guy next to you for help because he doesn't even know how to do things half the time, right?
A good point is the first year that they were in Detroit, they won 7 games, right? They looked better, but they won 7 games, right? So
how many games did they lose in the beginning? Wasn't it something like
they did play well. They played really tough, but they won 7.
I think they were 1-6 at one point, Dave, and then they won 7 of their last 8 or 7 of their last 9 or something like that. Yeah, it was.
I went to one of those games with Barry a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for Caleb and Ben to gel, but this is why I hate this off-season champion stuff with the Bears. Just be patient, guys. You've got talent. If it doesn't work this year, just wait. It's gonna build. Build it up. So yeah, and I think getting rid of Justin Fields was the right move. But I also think they kind of did him dirty, if I'm being honest. Justin Fields. I think they did him a little dirty. That's another hot take. Is Justin Fields going to stay in the NFL for the next 10 years? My answer is yes. Dave, what do you think? Will Justin Fields have an NFL job in 10 years?
Is Tyrod Taylor still in the NFL?
Facts. He is.
Fields is as good as Tyrod Taylor. Yep.
He's better than Tyrod Taylor.
I know.
Fields smart enough.
I didn't say that he wasn't, but I'm saying that Tyrod Taylor still has a place. If Tyler Huntley still has a place. Which, by the way,
Tyler Huntley
has only looked good in 1 game in his NFL career.
And Mitch Trubisky.
Who is that against?
Shut up.
Tyrod Taylor, I believe that was against in Lambeau.
Yeah, I know. He could run the ball, and we forgot what that meant when we had a very, very, very bad defensive coordinator by the name of Joe Barry. So yeah, I understand. But all right, so Do we have another topic, Doug? Do we have another
No,
topic?
I think we're all up.
We just had is losing Micah Jerry Jones' worst move ever?
No.
We just want to say, Jerry Jones, you were born, you were given a lot of money by your dad, and he set you up in the oil industry. So you've never been a good businessman. You were just set up so you could never fail. So you decided, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a football team and I'm going to show how smart I can be. And you have done an excellent job. You took America's favorite team to hate, which was a powerhouse. You stripped it down. You made it in your image and you can't get out of your way. You took our most hated team and they have our second favorite GM. Thank you very much, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, no, seriously. Now, to be fair, Jerry took a very terrible Cowboys team, and they won 3 Super Bowls.
Jimmy
Johnson won 3 Super Bowls.
Jerry hired the right guy to win 3 Super Bowls. And then Jerry thought he was so smart that he could do that himself, and he's been wrong for 27 years, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome to watch. Listen, guys, we're all going to miss the days when you go on a yacht and you do a line of coke off a stripper and you sign a contract. We're all going to miss those days when Jerry is gone. So stay alive forever, Jerry.
Yeah.
That's the theme of this podcast. Stay alive forever, Jerry.
Keep America's dream alive.